Welcome to the public hearing for the reevaluation of the US 41 at State Road, County Road 951 intersection, Project Development and Environment Study. The limits for the intersection improvements are approximately 1/4 mile in each direction along US 41 and State Road, County Road 951, locally known as Collier Boulevard, and referred to in this presentation as County Road 951. This reevaluation includes intersection alternatives to improve safety, traffic operations, and future traffic capacity. We encourage your comments regarding the reevaluation in writing or at the microphone tonight. Public involvement is an essential, valuable part of project development, and this hearing is your opportunity to express your views about the design changes. The next few slides document the federal and state statutes and regulations followed in this evaluation and public hearing. This public hearing is held in accordance with the Federal Highway Act of 1968 as amended, Chapter 23 of United States Code 128, Title 40 of the Code of Federal Regulations, Parts 1500 through 1508, Title 23 of the Code of Federal Regulations, Part 771, Florida Statute Section 339.155, Florida Statute Section 339.09, and the National Environmental Policy Act of 1969 as amended. This hearing has been advertised consistent with federal and state requirements and is conducted consistent with the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990. This design change reevaluation is developed in accordance with Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and related statutes. Anyone who feels that he or she has been discriminated against because of race, color, religion, sex, age, national origin, disability, or family status may complete one of the complaint forms located at the table in the hallway. Please mail it to the address given on the display board. Project documents are also available for review through October 4th, 2011 at the Collier County South Regional Library, 8065 Laley Cultural Parkway, and at the Collier County Growth Management Division, 2885 South Horseshoe Drive, during regular office hours, and at the project website at www.colliergov.net/US 41-951 project. The improvements presented tonight are consistent with the Collier County Metropolitan Planning Organization's 2035 Long-Range Transportation Plan and the Transportation Improvement Program for fiscal year 2011-2012 through fiscal year 2015-2016, adopted May 13, 2011. The purpose of the US 41 and County Road 951 intersection PD&E reevaluation is to reevaluate the findings of the 2008 PD&E study to select an alternative that improves upon the alternative selected during that study. The reevaluation evaluated alternatives to meet the future traffic needs, provide level of service D or better through the year 2035, improve safety by removing the skew along County Road 951, and improve emergency evacuation in southern Collier County. The reevaluation process provides an opportunity for public involvement and documents the engineering and environmental analysis to assist us in reaching a decision on the alternative to be designed and constructed for the intersection. The PD&E reevaluation will also satisfy the requirements of the National Environmental Policy Act, or NEPA, to qualify for federal aid funding. This intersection was included in the US 41 PD&E study completed by the Florida Department of Transportation in June 2008. The primary goal of the US 41 PD&E study was to meet the future traffic needs of the 8-mile segment of the US 41 corridor from County Road 951 to State Road 92, also known as San Marco Road. For the County Road 951 intersection, the PD&E study recommended an expanded at-grade intersection alternative with the development of intersection or interchange concepts to meet projected traffic demands as an option to consider at a later date. During the PD&E study, grade separation alternatives were not selected for the preferred alternative due to costs, access concerns, and because the primary roadway, US 41, was already a 6-lane divided roadway, thereby meeting the primary goal of the US 41 PD&E study. The PD&E approved at-grade intersection proposed 3 through lanes and 3 left turn lanes on each intersection approach. With the approved improvements, the study noted that the expanded intersection was projected to operate at level of service E during the mid-year 2020 with the maximum at-grade intersection geometry. Level of service E represents a congested intersection with substantial delay to the driving public. Therefore, the need for the reevaluation is to study improvements to meet future traffic demands. Collier County's Growth Management Division embarked on a detailed intersection study which evaluated grade separations on US 41 and County Road 951 and at-grade alternatives. The Conceptual Intersection Improvement Study Report identified a grade-separated overpass constructed in 2 phases as the ultimate solution. Due to pending traffic needs and economic conditions, the first phase is an interim at-grade improvement that would maintain an acceptable level of service through 2025, when the grade-separated overpass would be needed. The grade-separated overpass is expected to provide an acceptable level of service beyond year 2035. The need for the improvements to the US 41 and County Road 951 intersection has been established based on projected future population and employment growth in Collier County, expected future traffic demands within the study area, the critical role of US 41 and County Road 951 in the Collier County Emergency Management Department's evacuation network, the need to correct the skew in the intersection, and consistency with local government plans, goals, and objectives. The southbound and northbound movements require drivers to proceed with caution through the intersection skew. This approach has a skew that requires vehicles to adjust their travel path significantly. This issue is aggravated by potential sight distance limitations due to a crest in the roadway through the intersection in the southbound direction. The intersection has a history of multiple sideswiped crashes, particularly on this approach. The intersection issues were documented in the Road Safety Audit Report in March of 2010. Traffic analyses were performed to determine what improvements were necessary to maintain an acceptable level of service at this intersection. Several alternatives were developed. The alternative selected for reevaluation was an ultimate grade-separated overpass, which would be constructed in 2 phases. The interim at-grade improvements would be constructed initially. When the traffic congestion becomes heavy enough, the ultimate grade-separated overpass would be implemented. The preferred alternative is the grade-separated overpass. With the PD&E approved at-grade alternative, the existing through lanes remain the same, and 3 left turn lanes are provided on all approaches. This is the alternative that was generated through the 2008 PD&E study. There are advantages and disadvantages specific to the PD&E approved at-grade alternative. The advantages include it's the lowest cost improvement and less right-of-way is needed. The disadvantages specific to the PD&E approved at-grade alternative include it does not correct the existing County Road 951 skew through the intersection. The level of service is expected to be at E by year 2025. The level of service is expected to be at F, which is failing, by the year 2031. Current funding will allow the construction of the interim at-grade improvements. Those improvements would provide the right-of-way footprint for constructing the overpass when funding becomes available. The interim at-grade improvements correct the skewed alignment, enhance the sight distance, and improve safety. Advantages specific to the preferred interim at-grade improvements are that it meets the 2025 traffic needs, allows for future construction of the overpass with minimal reconstruction costs, removes the skewed roadway alignment on County Road 951, and improves pedestrian and bicyclist features and provides for the shared use path on US 41 and County Road 951. The disadvantages specific to the interim at-grade improvements include increased design, right-of-way, and construction costs, and increased environmental impacts. The grade-separated overpass is the ultimate intersection improvement which would be constructed once funding becomes available and would be built within the wide median of the interim at-grade intersection. A grade-separated overpass would greatly reduce traffic congestion and create better overall safety and efficiency for the transportation system. It also meets future development capacity requirements. Property access would change with the construction of the overpass, and U-turn lanes would be provided under the bridge. The bars on this operational comparison chart represent the delay or waiting time that each vehicle would experience at the intersection. Level of Service E is shown as the yellow horizontal bar and is the dividing line between good service below the line and poor service above the line. The blue bar demonstrates that the PD&E approved at-grade intersection reaches level of service E in the year 2025, whereas the purple bar demonstrates that the interim at-grade intersection is expected to operate better through the year 2025. The green bar demonstrates that the grade-separated overpass, or ultimate improvement, is expected to operate better than the interim at-grade with the higher traffic volumes beyond year 2035. The Florida Department of Transportation has programmed approximately $3.2 million. Private developer contributions are approximately $8.3 million, and Collier County funding is approximately $7.3 million for the project. In April 2009, the Collier County Board of County Commissioners and a group of developers entered into a developer contribution agreement to help fund the design and construction of at-grade improvements. Design and construction funding for at-grade improvements is in Collier County's adopted 5-year work program. The cost estimate for right-of-way acquisition and construction of the FDOT approved PD&E at-grade intersection alternative is $14.1 million. The cost estimate for right-of-way acquisition and construction for the preferred Phase 1 interim at-grade improvements is $18.8 million. The right-of-way for the ultimate grade-separated overpass is purchased in this phase and accommodates the future grade-separated overpass. The cost estimate for the construction of the preferred ultimate grade-separated overpass is $43.2 million. The phased construction of the preferred interim at-grade grade-separated overpass saves an estimated $5.5 million in construction and future right-of-way costs. An important component of this PD&E reevaluation study is the comparative evaluation of each alternative. Comparison factors include needed acquisitions of property, business and residential relocations, wetlands, floodplains, threatened and endangered species, water quality, hazardous materials, recreational sites, historic areas, buildings and archaeological sites, air quality, and noise. Impacts to the natural and built environments will be minimized, and all required permits will be obtained from regulatory agencies prior to construction. A detailed comparative alternative evaluation matrix is shown here and provided in your public hearing handout and on a display board for your review. Construction of at-grade improvements could begin as early as 2012. Proposed design changes for the FDOT approved at-grade alternative and the preferred interim grade-separated overpass require no business or residential relocations, although the county will need to acquire some additional property or right-of-way. The FDOT approved at-grade alternative requires additional right-of-way at the northwest quadrant of the intersection. The interim at-grade and ultimate grade-separated overpass requires right-of-way acquisition for the roadway alternative at the northwest, northeast, southwest, and southeast quadrants of the intersection. Right-of-way acquisition for the preferred interim at-grade improvements will accommodate construction of the future grade-separated overpass. In compliance with Executive Order 11990, Protection of Wetlands, the project team reviewed how wetlands may be involved or relate to proposed improvements. The FDOT-approved at-grade concept does not affect any wetlands. The interim at-grade and ultimate grade-separated overpass improvements will affect approximately 0.96 acres of wetlands. It was determined that there is no practicable alternative to the proposed construction in wetlands, and that the proposed actions include all practicable measures to minimize harm to wetlands which may result from such use. Any wetland effects resulting from construction will be mitigated to meet requirements of Part 4, Chapter 373, Florida Statutes, and Title 33, Section 1344 of United States Code. The project team also analyzed the study area for potential floodplain involvement in accordance with Executive Order 11988, Floodplain Management. The existing US 41 and the right-of-way expansion and pond sites are located within the Federal Emergency Management Agency 100-year flood zone. Since the flooding source for the project study area is the Gulf of Mexico, the flood zones are based on tidal flooding. Therefore, the required filling as part of the proposed improvements will not have additional impacts on flood heights or limits. There are no floodways impacted by the project. Proposed design changes will cause no significant changes to flood risk, to emergency evacuation routes, or to the potential for interruption or termination of emergency services. The Endangered Species Act of 1973 as amended, and Florida statutes, afford special protection to threatened and endangered species. In its review of protected species and their critical habitat, it was determined that either alternative is not expected to adversely affect any state or federally listed species. Henderson Creek, which is outside the study area, is an outstanding Florida water and aquatic preserve that may be taking both direct and indirect stormwater discharge from the proposed intersection improvements at US 41 and County Road 951. Additional treatment measures for stormwater discharge into this water body may be required by the permitting agencies. As part of the water quality impact evaluation, the team has taken steps to ensure recommended design changes will not adversely affect water quality of Henderson Creek along US 41 or County Road 951. At a minimum, design to accommodate storm water will meet water quality requirements established by the South Florida Water Management District and the United States Environmental Protection Agency. There were 3 sites within the project study area that were identified as potentially contaminated in the original PD&E study. For these 3 sites, 1 location was identified as high risk and 2 locations as medium risk for petroleum contamination. An assessment was conducted to determine if contamination from these sites would affect construction activities. The assessment did not identify any contaminants of concern in the soil or groundwater within the US 41 or County Road 951 right-of-way adjacent to the contaminated sites. This project is located in an area designated as an attainment area for all national ambient air quality standards, which means the air quality in this area is better than the national ambient air quality standards. Therefore, the Clean Air Act conformity requirements do not apply to this project. The preferred interim act grade separated overpass would improve air quality by reducing congestion. Construction activities may cause minor short-term air quality effects, like dust from earthwork and unpaved roads. Construction contractors will follow all local and state regulations and specifications to minimize these effects. Long-term effects are not anticipated. In compliance with Title 23 Code of Federal Regulations, Part 772, the project team also has evaluated how potential increases in traffic noise associated with proposed interim and ultimate improvements may affect communities near the intersection. Specifically, the team studied noise-sensitive sites within the project study area along US 41 and County Road 951 to determine areas that will experience future traffic noise levels that approach, meet, or exceed Federal Highway Administration's noise abatement criteria. During its review, the team considered feasibility and cost reasonableness for abatement measures that would reduce traffic noise at affected areas. To be considered feasible, an abatement measure must provide at least a 5 decibel reduction in noise to the affected site. To be considered cost reasonable, construction of a noise abatement measure must meet criteria that public expenditures not exceed $42,000 per affected site. For both the Florida Department of Transportation approved at-grade concept and the preferred interim at-grade grade-separated overpass, it was determined that noise impacts above the noise abatement criteria would occur at some areas of the Eagle Creek community. Further coordination with the Eagle Creek community will occur in the design phase. Although trucks and equipment used to build proposed improvements to US 41 and County Road 951 intersection will generate short-term noise effects, they will be temporary at any location. During construction, the contractor is required to follow the most recent edition of the Florida Department of Transportation Standard Specifications for Road and Bridge Construction, which addresses noise associated with construction. Noise specialists are here. A Cultural Resources Assessment Survey for the US 41 County Road 951 Intersection Improvements Project was conducted as part of the PD&E Reevaluation for the project. The Cultural Resource Assessment Survey resulted in the identification of no archaeological resources. The historic resources found within the study area, the Tamiami Trail and the Tamiami Canal, were previously determined to be ineligible for the National Register. In accordance with Florida Statute 335.199, access changes will occur on both US 41 and State Road County Road 951 if the interim and ultimate concepts are constructed. There are two existing directional median openings that will be closed once the grade-separated overpass is constructed, but would remain open in the interim condition. The first location is on State Road 951 northbound at the access to Eagle Creek Shopping Center. Access will be provided via a U-turn under the overpass. The second location is on County Road 951 southbound at the access to Falling Waters. Access will be provided via a U-turn under the overpass. To accommodate these access changes, the grade-separated overpass intersection design provides for a U-turn from the exit ramp to the entrance ramp on each side of US 41. The U-turns are necessary since local right-in, right-out access is provided to the properties along the ramps. The following accesses would be modified when the interim intersection is constructed and would remain in this configuration when the grade-separated overpass is constructed. The 7-Eleven gas station driveway on US 41 would be a right-in only. One of the two Circle K driveways on US 41 just east of County Road 951 would be closed. The driveway along State Road 951 would become right-in only. These changes would remain when the ultimate grade-separated overpass is constructed. The CVS driveway on US 41 would be a right-in only and would remain in this configuration when the ultimate grade-separated overpass is constructed. The driveway on County Road 951 would remain a right-in and right-out for access to CVS. There are many benefits of implementing the interim at-grade and ultimate grade-separated alternative. The skew along County Road 951 is removed. The evacuation network is improved in support of the Collier County Emergency Management Department evacuation network. The ultimate required right-of-way is obtained before development occurs, preventing costly expenditures or relocations. Reduced congestion will improve air quality. These improvements are consistent with local government plans, goals, and objectives. We invite you to take a look at display boards in the room tonight that summarize potential social, cultural, and environmental effects of the proposed improvements. We also have displays here providing estimated project costs and a tentative schedule for design, right-of-way, and construction phases for proposed interim and ultimate improvements to the US 41 and County Road 951 intersection. The US 41 and County Road 951 Design Change Reevaluation is scheduled for completion this fall. In just a few minutes after a short break, you may step up to the microphone and make your comments, which become part of the official public hearing transcript. You also may complete a comment form and drop it in the box provided here tonight, or take the form with you and mail your comments to the county using the address provided on the comment form. If you prefer, You may submit your comments by email instead to the address shown at the bottom of the comment form, or submit a comment via the website. All comments received or postmarked by October 4th become part of the official public hearing transcript. Representatives from the Collier County Growth Management Division, the Florida Department of Transportation, and the project team are available this evening to answer questions and take your comments. We encourage you to let us know what you think. Again, we thank you for your participation in this project and for taking time to attend tonight's public hearing. We look forward to your comments and continued interest in improvements to the US 41 and County Road 951 intersection in Collier County.